Living life with ichthyosis, it's very interesting because, people obviously will stare, they're curious. People are obviously, wonder, what's happened because they don't know. Most people think that I have gotten sunburnt, which is why my skin is so red, but usually I have to correct them. Hi, my name is Portia and I have confetti ichthyosis.
My name is Bailey Pretak, and I was born with lamellar ichthyosis.
Hi, I'm Sean Cena, and I am Portia Cena's father.
And I'm Jolie Cena, and I'm Portia Cena's mother.
Ichthyosis is a rare genetic skin condition that causes my skin to grow 10 times faster. And this is because I don't have the extra layers of skin that normal people have. So my skin is always trying to reproduce and recreate that layer that I don't have.
And growing up with ichthyosis has definitely been a challenge. From things such as not being able to sweat, so I couldn't be outside on hot summer days like my other friends, to fevers being life-threatening, to the fact that my skin itches all the time and is constantly dry and cracks open.
I maintain my skin in a couple ways. I use a lot of lotion to help moisturize my skin because my skin can dry out very easily, so I always have to have lotion on. I also take a bath every single day, which can help, get any excess, dead skin that is on my body, and that helps a lot. And I also have to drink a lot of water because my skin is so dry that it needs to stay hydrated. And because of my skin, I cannot sweat, so I always have to make sure I don't overheat.
But the hardest part was definitely emotionally, because I could tell I was different. I was bullied, I was excluded and left out of things. I've been cyberbullied, so all of that definitely caused me to have a low self-esteem and just not really like my skin, basically.
It hasn't really affected our mental health other than the worrying that we have about how the world is going to react to both of our kids. It's their mental health that I'm most concerned about. Making sure that they are as secure within themselves as possible so that they can deal with anything that happens to them that happens to be negative, and the disappointments that may come from having ichthyosis. That's really what I'm most concerned with.
I've had many interesting encounters over the years. There are some positive encounters, some negative. Some people will, whisper. I remember one time there was a group of girls and they were walking by and they were like whispering, and I was with a friend and they were whispering, they were pointing. Sometimes it's kind of a battle in my head whether I should, speak up or just, let them go. Well, sometimes I do get recognized very easily around my town because I obviously stand out, so people can remember me very easily.
So what is it like to have a child, or children in our case, with ichthyosis? It really is no different than having any other kid. Initially, at least in Portia's case, Portia's our firstborn. Nobody knew why her skin was the way it was. It was a very shocking day, and then became, kind of a trying 2 years, just trying to figure out, getting our arms around how to take care of her and what was best for her. But once we figured that out, and Miles was born, our second child with ichthyosis, it was old hat at that point, and we kind of knew what we were doing, and it's smooth sailing. So really, it's just like every other kid, except getting your arms around making sure that their skincare regimen is where they need it, and preparing them for that. And other than that, it's just like the same worries every other parent would have.
I cope with my ichthyosis by music. Music is one of the things that I've had since childhood. It has helped me in so many ways. I love to create music. I love performing it in front of people, and I've made so many friends and connected with so many people through ichthyosis.
And as far as music, I've always loved music. I've loved performing. I love dancing, singing, acting, anything that falls under those categories.
So first is the Foundation for Ichthyosis and Related Skin Types. And we found first when Portia was first born, one of our doctors put us in touch with them. And they provide a lot of resources to families and people affected with ichthyosis and the people who love them. And first provides a lot of support both in person family conferences that they offer every other year. They have a lot of information to families, a website, a very robust online community. And they provide a lot of support to the families and people with ichthyosis. They put them in touch with doctors. They put them in touch with different studies. They do a lot of fundraising and awareness drives. And FIRST was really helpful to us because they did provide that key support and information that we were looking for when Portia was first born, and gave us a lot of information, I think, that we were looking for at the time. And a lot of reassurances that even though she has a rare skin condition, she can go on to have a fairly normal and happy life.
So FIRST has been a huge godsend to our family. FIRST is the Foundation for Ichthyosis and Related Skin Types, and they are the reason why we know what we know about my skin. And even more important, they've connected me with people like Portia and other families all around the world. And it's just so nice to realize that you are not alone and that there are other people who go through what you go through on a daily basis. And that connection is so important and helps get me through.
I've been playing piano ever since I was a little girl. I love performing with other people. I love meeting others. I love collaborating. Music is an amazing way to connect with others and put your own spin and creativity on different kinds of, varieties and different music.
I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. Could never bother me anyway. God gave my head above water, don't let me drown. It gets harder, I'll meet you there at the altar as I fall down to my knees. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown.
Music has definitely helped me connect with other people and make more friends, and it is an amazing thing, and it has definitely helped me with my ichthyosis. Another thing is friends and family. I think that you don't have to have 100 friends, you don't have to have 10 friends, you don't have to have 5 friends, you can have any amount you want. But I do think it is very important to have at least one close friend that you can talk to about anything and you're very comfortable with, because I think it is so important to have that support system. I'm very grateful to have a very loving family who supports me and who loves me very deeply, and I love them for that.
But over time, I've learned to appreciate my skin, and I've learned to discover that beauty is unique, and all of us are unique and different.
Are you excited to see the cats at the cat cafe?
Yeah, it's gonna be cute. I wonder if they're gonna have any kittens.
Oh my gosh, that would be so precious. And you have cats at home, right?
Yeah, I have 2 babies, Nixie and Pandora.
Okay.
Though I hope I don't come home smelling like cats because they're not gonna like that very much.
They're going to be envious of you.
Well, they better not be getting any ideas because they're not getting any more siblings.
Oh gosh, I was going to say, you're not going to end up with the cat coming home with you?
No. Pandora's territorial as it is. I don't think she
man.
could handle anyone else. I mean, the 2 of them, they don't get into scraps really, but occasionally they'll, I don't know, cat fights.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
You have a dog at home?
Yes, yeah, luckily I have a dog at home and I'm allergic, so there's no chance of me bringing a cat home, even though I do really like them.
Well, I hope the cat cafe doesn't trigger your allergies.
Oh yeah, I think as long as I don't touch my face after I pet them, I'll be fine. But,
okay.
Yeah, I definitely will want to pet them because I still love cats.
Yeah. Well, at least that works.
Yeah.
But do you think your dog will get jealous? Will he smell the cats on you?
He will. He'll be really confused that where I've been.
Hey, Hunter, you ready to roll?
Hey, hold on a sec.
Ryan and Stephanos are here.
Hey, Michaela, I gotta go. My dad's here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hey guys.
Hey Hunter.
How
Great
was your
seeing
drive-in? Yeah.
It was good.
How are you?
Hey. Missed you.
Miss you guys too.
Hey, I got stuff to do, so I'll catch you later. Have fun, be safe. See you at the Chinese Lantern Festival later on.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, see ya.
then.
Love you. See ya. How's the weather outside?
It's beautiful out there today. It's a nice day.
Okay.
It
Think
is.
we can walk it?
I think we can walk over, yeah.
Okay. And if we get too hot, we can Uber home.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You want to head out?
Let's
go.
do it.
I want to see some cats.
Thank you.
Meow.
So do you guys have any cats at home?
I do. I have two. Pandora and Nixie.
What about you, Stephanos?
I don't, but I might move in with one pretty soon.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it should be a
You're
fun
not going to take one
experience.
home?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I can.
No?
No.
Hi, excuse me.
Hi.
Please don't think that I'm rude. I'm just a very curious person, and I noticed that you have like I don't know what it is, a skin condition.
I do look a little different, don't I?
You do, and I'm sorry if I'm insulting you.
You're
I'm
not.
just very curious.
I have actually, all three of us have a genetic skin condition
Yeah.
called ichthyosis.
Yeah, that sounds like a fish.
Well, that's where the name comes from. It's fish scaled. We actually have different types of the same kind of umbrella condition.
Lovely.
Different genetics, but
yeah,
similar
same.
manifestation.
Are you curing yourself? Are you doctoring and getting cures?
There's no cure, but hopefully one day there will be. Gene
God,
therapy is making
I've heard that so
revolutionary
many
strides.
times.
Right. But it's all about maintenance.
Yep, it's all about treatments. A lot of them now are creams and medications and a lot of
How many hours a week do you spend on sloughing?
Oh goodness.
At least an hour a day in maintenance.
Yeah, at least
Really?
an hour,
Yeah.
maybe two.
Do you? Is there any pain?
There can be at some times. I mean, there's a lot of flare-ups, so it's just all about actively maintaining to try to hopefully avoid the
Yeah,
flare-ups.
it can get
It's
a
a
little.
constant monitoring of
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
It is.
But the community is key though. I got
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Community of
Aggressive first.
seagulls.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm a little
No.
harder.
No. Community of other people who have ichthyosis.
You also have the same disease.
And you have bulletin boards and you share things and you talk to each other.
an
Because I have a
organization.
disease too that there's no cure for, so that I depend on people on the internet who understand it more than the doctors.
And you share similar experiences.
Exactly.
And actually, even better than the internet, in person. We're actually on our way to meet a couple friends who,
Yeah.
actually, by coincidence, also have the same condition.
Oh.
Down at the Cat Cafe.
Where's the cat cafe?
It's just right
Just
up the
a
block.
few blocks
Yeah.
that way.
Just a few steps ahead of us.
I could manage that if
Yeah?
you don't
Oh, do you wanna
mind.
come?
Would you
Yeah.
like to join us?
Really?
Absolutely.
I'd love to on this gorgeous day.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Let's
how
head over.
fabulous.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I caught your name before.
That's because I didn't tell you. It's Marilyn.
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 Hunter. It's a
Hunter?
pleasure.
Stephanos.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, you too. Hey.
How are you?
Hey. Hey. Look. Hi. So we met a friend. Oh.
Hi. Hi, I'm brand new. We just met. Nice to meet you.
Michaela and Marty.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for inviting me here. What are we going to do?
I think we're gonna see some cats.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Round 2.
Hunter, food's here.
Hey guys,
Hey, Hunter.
what'd you bring for dinner?
Chinese.
Oh, how appropriate. Come on, let's go eat.
So I have yet to receive any type of genetic classification for the type of ichthyosis I have. But a team at Yale University is working on figuring out what gene and what kind of variant in the gene is my type of ichthyosis, along with my mom and brother. Who also
With
share
the
same,
registry?
Yeah, with the gene, exactly, with the Gene Discovery Project at Yale, which you can submit your DNA to, and the team at Yale will work to discover exactly what type of ichthyosis you might have based on your genes and based on your phenotype.
Yeah, they've got my DNA in there.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? The more the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I was diagnosed with lamellar when I was born, and I did get my gene discovered, and it's actually more like in the umbrella between lamellar and CIE, and I always thought that I never quite looked like my friends with the lamellar, and I don't quite look like my friends with CIE, so it kind of makes sense I'm in between.
So after they told you, hey, this is what I have now, did it change anything that you have to do? Is it the same stuff?
No,
or what?
not at all. Yeah, it's kind of
Well,
just a
that's
different
cool.
label that I had to get used to. I had to learn what CIE stood for, too, you know?
And that's the thing. It might, so the day-to-day maintenance of the disease really might not change whether you know it's this type or that type, or whether you know or not. But at least it's a stepping stone in being able to advocate for your new classification, your new subtype of ichthyosis, and that's really the first stepping stone in any future therapeutic development, for example, that might come from knowing your genetic diagnosis.
And having a name for it too, like just for you, can be good and can
Absolutely.
be helpful.
Yeah.
What does, because I know my skincare routine is going to be different from your skincare routine. Like how long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
It takes me usually about 45 minutes to an hour. I take about a 15-20 minute shower and then do my lotion. But ideally, I would take quite a longer shower, like maybe 30 minutes, but I just like to sleep in a little as much as I can. So, you know.
You said shower. Do you soak at all? Do you do the bath thing?
So actually, I don't have access to a tub in the house I'm living, and it's kind of been a struggle. I have to drive an hour or so to get home to take a bath. So I try to do that usually once every other week or so, because the baths just really help me exfoliate more, and I can take sea salt in with them, so it does make a difference.
So you add stuff to your bath water then?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Like sea salt really helps me exfoliate my skin, so I like that. Yeah, and it's just a nice way to relax and soak in, you know. So.
Yeah, I bathe too, but my baths are usually a little bit longer. I have to go at least 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Sometimes if my skin's really bad, I go longer. But for basic stuff, it's usually about 45 minutes just in the water, and then I have to apply lotion when I get out. Do you guys find yourself sun sensitive, like just in general, or?
Yeah, like I have to put on sunscreen.
Yeah.
Because my skin's thin.
But yeah, I think anytime you're outside, personally, more than like 15, 20 minutes, I try to be very careful.
Yeah.
I mean, by just drinking a lot of water and trying to stay in the shade. I mean, just going like on trips when we go out west, there's not a lot of clouds out there. So at least out this way, you got a lot of clouds, so you have a little more leeway per se.
I think once a summer I get close to overheat, like really almost having a heat stroke, and it's always scary, especially when you don't have an opportunity to go back into the AC quickly, like when you're out like on a hike, for example, and you're just kind of stuck out there. It can be really, really scary.
Yeah. One time we were in LA, and
I remember on the
tour bus.
Yeah.
We were on a double-decker tour bus, and there was no top cover at all, and it was like high noon, like noon, peak day, in the middle of Los Angeles. So it's freaking desert out there. And so I was let's just say I was seeing stars walking down the stairs. I don't remember walking down those stairs.
Wow.
That I think, and that's the closest I've ever gotten to actually like full on passing out.
Yeah. I remember that.
I feel like I personally get the "Are you sunburned?"
Yeah.
constantly. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I work retail, and just going into public,
Yeah.
they're like, you've been in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
And then depending on how much I want to talk, kind of persuade my answer. I'd be like, every day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you should try some sunscreen. I'm like, that'd be a good idea, right?
That's great help. Thanks.
We visited Key West when Hunter was little.
Yeah.
We were walking on the street one day, and we walked in front of a corner store, and the guy's coming out of the store as we walked by, and he took a double take on Hunter, and he says, "Oh, hold on a second." And he runs back in the store. 2 minutes later, he runs out with a bottle of whatever his favorite sunscreen thing was.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to try this because. It's been really crazy to see some strange stuff happen.
Yeah. Doctors are strange.
Yeah.
Because some of them.
They don't know how to communicate
No.
effectively.
They don't,
Yeah.
and it's I often find it difficult because I have to differentiate between, yes, I have ichthyosis. That's not what I'm here to see you about today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, my whole body sends up red flags.
Yeah.
Pun maybe intended. So it's like, if I'm going in with a stomach bug, yes, thank you. I know I have very red skin, but that's not the problem here. Or even like trying to establish a normal. Like, if you start seeing a new doctor and are seeing them regularly, like it takes them so long to understand what's normal for you versus what they've been taught through all of their training in medical school is normal for everybody. So like, just because what's not okay for someone else doesn't mean that's not okay for me.
Yeah, and I'd say many of them haven't even heard of ichthyosis.
Nope.
When you go,
Yeah.
you have to explain it to them.
Or they
Right.
tell you everything that you already know.
Yep.
Right.
That's the problem.
I think people are too quick to assume that because you have a condition, you just can't live a life.
Yeah.
And that's crap.
Yeah.
You can do what you want to do. We do what is our passion, not being impacted by the condition we live with.
We're not defined by it.
And if anything, it makes a better story
Right.
for people who are like, how do you do that thing? I just do.
Mm-hmm.
There's not I think at one point someone asked me, how is it that you do what you do? I'm like, because I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
What's my option? Roll over and be miserable? No, thank you. Life is better than that.
Yep. I can imagine, a day where maybe a one-time shot of a gene therapy would make it so that, you never have to put on a cream or lotion again. The technology is there today, and it's just going to take more work, more advocacy on our end, the patients, to educate the public, to work with our physicians and work with groups like FIRST to get this all together and hopefully see a day just like that. But I can say that being more involved with FIRST has absolutely changed the path I want to go down in terms of being able to help other patients with ichthyosis along with other rare diseases.
Ideally, one day, we'll be walking down the street, they're like, you guys got ichthyosis. I mean, they might already know ahead of time instead of you having to do the pre-work, introducing it.
Or even better, for it not to be an issue at all.
Exactly.
For it to just be, just like, someone's skin color or eye color or hair color or whatever. That it is a factor of who you are, but it is not all of who you are. And it certainly doesn't define what you're able to do.
I think I'm just most thankful for getting to meet everyone in the community. It's just it feels like nothing else going to a conference and things like this. You just around people who completely get you, no judgments whatsoever. That's been my favorite thing to get out of having ichthyosis.
The community as a whole is such a home. It's a family apart from family. Having ichthyosis has drastically impacted my understanding of other people and myself and sort of who and what I am is a direct result of having ichthyosis. I wouldn't have the kind of relationships that I have with other people or the empathy that I have for people going through hard things. And I think there's a self-awareness that comes with ichthyosis that I kind of wish more people had.
Not only can we help other families, younger generations who have or have kids with ichthyosis, but we can relate to everybody in the world. So my goal is to be an inspiration to many kids to see what I went through and what you guys went through, and they can see, oh, if they can do it, why can't I? And I think that's kind of what it's all about, and that's what I'm so grateful for.
In a way, we want to be guiding lights to people still stuck in that darkness. And even in, times when we are still there, because we still live with it, we have each other to be those lights when we can't be them ourselves. But we can also be those lights for the people who haven't found them yet.
Isn't it cool how we can see ourselves on this camera?
Yeah.
What do you think when you see yourself?
I look good right now because my friend Paige did my makeup, so I look good. If there was a pill to make me feel like to look more different, I wouldn't take it because this is who I am.
Were you excited for this interview?
Yes, I was really excited.
Why were you excited?
Because you're like a little big of a celebrity to me, and like it's like my first YouTuber sitting by me.
Well, I heard all about you before doing this interview, and I heard wonderful things, so I was excited too.
Yeah.
What's your biggest obstacle in life?
I don't really have one. I can't really think of one.
Do you have a good life?
Yes. Yes. Sometimes I say to my mom, I have the best life. I love my life.
What's the best about it?
I don't know. It's like my family is around me and my friends. We're the Three Musketeers.
Yeah. We're always going to stick together no matter what.
Yeah, until we're old grannies that we need our walkers.
We do a lot of things together. We do Girl Scouts together.
I like being 15 because, like, I'm going to start doing driver's ed pretty soon, which I can drive a car. So that'll be fun. And, like, I don't know, you're just older and you just feel more mature.
What are you most excited about driving for?
Driving to McDonald's and getting chicken nuggets.
What do you think you'll be talking about when your old lady's together?
What mushy food to eat together because we won't have teeth. Or like, I don't know.
Remember memories that were in the past.
Yeah, memories.
Yeah.
Funny things we did.
How often do you think about your diagnosis?
Not often.
What are you thinking about throughout the day at school?
What am I? Oh, I'm so hungry. What class do I have next? I think your personality matters more than the way you look. Because people can judge you the way you look, but you should not judge people the way you look because it matters what's on the inside.
What's the most important quality in a friend?
That they care for you. And they accept who they accept who you are. If you're trying to be someone else, that's not really good because you're trying to be someone else and it's not like it's bad for you. Just be you.
That makes me laugh all the time.
I do?
Same with
you
me.
make me laugh all the time. Okay. Okay.
Probably with your Elmo impressions.
I would say the same thing. Just like a lot of impressions that she does, it just cracks me up.
Sad how I can do an Elmo impression.
You know I gotta hear it now.
Oh God.
It's not sad, it's cool.
Show the world your Elmo impression, Lauren.
Oh God. Okay. Just
Elmo has mail?
Elmo has mail.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
To have the newest iPhone. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching.
Why is that your wish?
I don't know. It's like everyone has it, but I'm like, even though I have a perfectly good iPhone, like, I don't know, it's nice.
What do you three talk about when no one else is around?
What happened over the weekend, or maybe talk about boys.
Yeah, definitely boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
Why are you giggling there?
I don't know, boys. I mean, Wayne has a boyfriend, she's lucky. I mean, he's well single like a Pringle, but you know.
What's it like to be single as a Pringle?
I don't know. Like, I would like a boyfriend, but like, I have my best friends, so I don't really need one.
Do you think adults know what it's like to be a teenager today?
No. No.
What don't we understand?
Like, older people don't really know how to text, or they call Snapchat chat snap. I'm like, no.
Are you on the chat snap? Is Lauren popular at your school?
I don't know. She could be.
What would you say, Lauren?
I mean, they know who I am, definitely.
A lot of teachers know who she is.
On the average day, what do you do most?
Go on my phone.
How often?
A lot.
What are you doing on there? There's a whole world around you. Pick up your face.
Minecraft. Oh my god, I almost said chat snap. It's Snapchat.
You're on the chat snap too? You have to add me. What is your diagnosis?
My diagnosis is called Harlequin ichthyosis. It's like a skin disorder, obviously, because I look different. But I don't really know how to explain it. My mom will probably explain it later.
If it were a pill that would make her someone other than who she is, I would 100% agree with her. I would encourage her not to take it.
Yeah.
But as her mother, and to have seen her go some of the struggles that she's gone through and the discomfort that she's had, if there was a pill that would make this ichthyosis go away, I would make her take it.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I would take the pill if it make me less itchy. I wouldn't take the pill if it would change the way who I am, because like I am who I am.
And I wouldn't let you take it if it changed who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it either.
Do you two know much about Lauren's skin condition?
I know what it is, but not that much in the details.
Does it matter to you?
No,
Why not?
because Lauren's my best friend, and the way she looks isn't going to change that. It's the way she acts.
When you do make a new friend, what's the very first thing you want to do with them?
Play game.
What kind of game?
Board game.
What kind of board game?
Maybe. I mean, I have a lot of games, but like maybe like Chutes and Ladders and stuff.
Will you be mad if you lose?
Yeah. I like winning. I like to cheat. Like me and my friend Isabel were playing the game, and she's like, "You cheated." I'm like, "So I just wanted to win."
If she didn't catch you, would you have told her you cheated?
Or maybe I'll feel bad, and then I would eventually tell her before she leaves my house. Oh, by the way, I cheated.
Why do you want to win so bad? It's just Chutes and Ladders.
I don't know. It's just fun to win. You know, it feels good. But even though if I cheated, it doesn't feel good. But this is funny to make people laugh.
If I played Chutes and Ladders with you, would you cheat? What if you knew I would never find out?
I don't know. Maybe I'll cheat.
What if you were losing and I was going to win unless you cheated?
I'll let you win.
You would let me win?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Why would you let me win?
I don't know, because you're like my favorite YouTuber and like, yeah.
What's the main reason you wanted to do this interview today?
Well, to meet you, because I really like, you're the most YouTuber I watch. You're the YouTuber I watch all the time. What's the best part about doing interview?
That's a great question. My best part is meeting so many people.
Making new friends.
Making new friends. Like today, we're friends.
Yeah.
It's just so cool to make new friends and hear their stories. And I feel like when you talk to people and listen to them, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
What would surprise people the most about Lauren?
I think what would surprise them the most is that they're not aware of any skin conditions. It's probably not usual for them to see, so they might not know what's going on exactly.
What would you communicate to those people who don't know?
I would probably tell them what it is and tell them don't worry about it. It's not contagious. It's not something you would get. She's just the same person on the inside, just different on the outside.
Sometimes, like, I wish, like, I wouldn't have the skin because, like, I love kids. And I wish, like, I was look normal to them so they wouldn't stare at me.
You mentioned how young children, are often the ones who stare.
Yeah, because they're curious, probably. Yeah.
A lot of parents watch our videos with their young children.
Oh.
What would you like to say to the young children?
Hi. Even though you're little, I'm still a normal person. Even though I look different, I still act like a normal person. And, yeah.
Great answer.
I love kids.
Do you want people to see your differences or see the similarities?
Similar.
Why?
Because, like, I don't want them to judge me. Like, oh, she's different because she has different skin as me. I want them to say, like, oh, she looks like a normal teenager. I want to be friends with her.
What would you say is the most difficult thing about being 15 and friends?
Drama.
People judging you.
Well, mainly that. Yeah.
Do y'all experience that together?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
How would you describe the way people judge your group?
Well, they'll just think it's, like, different, like us hanging out, and they just think it's, like, weird, not, like, not normal.
Some people are haters. There's haters out there.
What's a hater? How would you define a hater?
A person that doesn't accept a person who they are, or it's a hater that doesn't accept you. Pretty much doesn't accept you.
I'm surprised that you have any haters in the world, because I see nothing but an awesome person.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What would you like to say to the haters?
Don't hate. It's rude.
What are some of your interests?
My interests? I like to do theater at my school. Right now we're doing Shrek. I like to do chorus.
I just don't know that I could have done at her age the things that she does. The bravery it takes to get up on stage and audition with an Adele song. I mean, when she told me she was going to sing Adele, I was like, okay.
Do you want to be seen and heard?
Yes.
Why?
So people get to know me and like they can like, oh, this girl is pretty cool. And like they can learn about my diagnosis and stuff.
You are pretty cool. And I'm enjoying being here with you. Do you want people to ask questions about your diagnosis?
Yeah, so they can get to know me and like how to help or what to expect about me.
How do you feel when all three of you are together?
It feels like it completes the puzzle, definitely.
Yeah, we fit together perfectly.
It feels like we're a little family outside of our actual family.
Definitely, yeah.
Once this video is over and the audience goes about their day, what's the number one thing you hope they learn from it?
That I'm just a normal teenager, and no matter what you look like on the outside, don't judge them. Just like go up to them and say hi, or like you can ask questions. It's okay. It's how people get to know each other. Just give them a chance to like describe how they are. Yeah, maybe you'll make a new friend that day.
So as we continue tonight's In My Skin event, I'm excited for you to see a collection of artistic images that captures one person's experience living with ichthyosis and sharing her work entitled My Skin Isn't Ugly, It's Art. I'm pleased to bring forward Aisha Condé.
I find it very hard to accept my disease as well as understanding my relationship to it. I could not imagine myself without my ichthyosis, but it's still a disease. Self-love is the most important kind of love, but where does that self part actually end? Is this disease that is making my life unnecessarily harder in so many ways really still me, or is it rather on me? So do I need to love it, or is it enough if I just tolerate it? But at the same time, it's an attribute that I really like in my looks, at least after many years. It's a good conversation opener, and multiple of my friendships actually started with the question, what do you have? Moreover, I would just very simply not be me without this illness. I doubtlessly owe quite a few of my character traits to this ichthyosis, like my openness, tolerance, resilience. And it made me a lot stronger than I think I'd ever be without it. And in a way, it even gives me confidence. So I think I need to learn to accept these and respect these negative feelings that I feel just as much as the positive ones, because both are a part of me and a part equally worthy of love. And since these feelings are not going anywhere anytime soon, I can try to turn them into art. The next photo series is on the topic of self-perception. So in these photographs, I used the mirror to try to show to what extent the unrealistic beauty ideals set by our society can be harmful. They ought to demonstrate that what we see looking back at us in the mirror is never an objective reflection of reality. So I shot these pictures on a day where my skin was exceptionally dry and painful, and it just felt like hiding away. And I realized that my confidence and my self-perception would very often be a reflection of my feelings and the way I was feeling on the inside. I don't think it's necessary, though, to live with a rare or visible disease to get that feeling of the own body not being enough. And each and every day, every one of us has to find a way to get rid of that idea and to learn not to get pulled down by society's negativity. Because of all the reactions I used to get when I was little, I had to learn how to accept my body as it is from a very early age on. And I'm very thankful for that, actually, because once puberty hit me, I did not have most of the complexes that my friends have had. So I really see that as an advantage. Our bodies are ephemeral, and life is too short to be ashamed about something we have absolutely no control over. That's the way I think most of the time, at least, because I also got days where I just feel thoroughly abhorrent. And it's sad that society's standards can have enough power over us for some of us to start hating ourselves. And so I believe it's very important to keep in mind that most of us have many of these ideals internalized. So most of the derogatory thoughts that we have that will elicit these negative feelings, they don't actually come from outside, but rather from ourselves. And so I think the best way to change that would be in a way to fight our own ways of thinking and to turn off these negative thoughts. And that's basically the way that I decided for myself to be happy without having the blessing of from Heidi Klum. And the next part would be body painting, but since we have a time limit, you can just go look at them on my Instagram. It's called Candu, which is my nickname, and because you can't do anything if you really want to.
Well, thank you very much, Aisha, for your wonderful words and your wonderful photos. And you're right, that was some beautiful art that you shared with us. I just wish that I hope that we are all taking away some wonderful things from tonight. And Aisha, I just really appreciate everything that you did. Next up, we are going to have a story from someone who could possibly be a future motivational speaker named Miss Brittany Meekins. Now, she is going to be telling a story about how she learned to think positively about her self-worth. So let's take it away and watch Miss Brittany.
Hello, I am Brittany. At 18, I was actually diagnosed with ichthyosis. Before that, I was always told that I had really bad eczema. But finally, I was told I had ichthyosis. And growing up, my mom, she really drilled in self-confidence. Like, I know you look different from others, but you're special. You're gorgeous. One thing that has always stuck with me is when she would make me stand in the mirror and look at myself and tell myself that I love you. And for years I did that, but I just said it. But one day I really, really looked at myself and I was like, I love you. And I was like, God, you did your thing. But no, seriously, I was grateful. I became grateful for the person who he made me to be. Yes, I have ichthyosis. Yes, I look different, but that's just something that makes me me. It's a part of who I am. And I really want to share the message of self-esteem. You are worth it. You are beautiful. You aren't strange. You're just unique. That is all. And accept who you are. God loves you and love yourself. And I love you. And there's this song by Mary Mary that I heard years ago when it first came out. And it's always stuck with me. And it's called Little Girls. And one particular line that just connected the dots for me and everything that my mom was telling me. One thing was when you look in the mirror, look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. No matter your flaws or downfalls, you are beautiful. So always keep that with you. And just remember that you are special. You've been put on this earth to be this beacon of light, strength, and everything. And before I go, I just want to say this one thing. Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Jefferson, George Floyd, Elijah McClain, and a whole host of others. Black Lives Matter.
You can look in that mirror and realize, maybe this skin isn't what I wanted, but it's who I am.
Ugly. 20 years ago, if you asked me to describe myself, ugly would have been my answer. I might have used insecure, shy, even worthless too. I was called Scaly Bailey, and I was bullied by exclusion, always on the outside looking in.
I am a motivational speaker, and the funny thing is, if you would have told me probably even 3 years ago that I was going to do that, I would have laughed. I've realized I have a story to tell. When I was born, they immediately knew something was different with me because my skin was very red. They figured out that I had lamellar ichthyosis, which is a rare genetic skin condition that basically my skin sheds old skin cells off too slow and causes the buildup of dry, scaly, flaky skin. And there's no cure for it. I remember when I got to kindergarten that parents actually called the principal and wanted their kids taken out of my class, and people wouldn't touch things I touched. I just didn't fit in anywhere. I almost felt like I had to wear a mask to cover up who I really was. Even to this day is constant stares rude comments, like, didn't your mother ever teach you about using sunscreen? As I grew up, I got more shy and insecure, and I feel like this picture really captures that and how I would hide behind my mom.
If we go somewhere and I see someone staring, I automatically just want to jump in front of her and somehow protect her from those rude stares. And I will say for a while I got really nasty, and there was times when people would stare and I would get, even if it was a child, I would get right down on their level and stare right back, and so they would see what it would feel like. I came to realize that part of her insecurity was me and my reaction to these rude people. And so we decided to change our MO, and when people stared, we would smile and wave.
The biggest complication is I cannot sweat. So I have to take a lot of precautions in the summertime when it's hot and humid. Even something as simple as a fever is life-threatening. If I do have a fever, I have to be covered in ice, basically, to get my body temperature down as fast as possible. For me in particular, I guess the skin maintenance has just become such an everyday part of my life. It's probably takes me about half an hour, 45 minutes in the morning. It's not as easy as it once was. Before I go to bed, I put eye ointment in my eyes because my skin is actually so tight around my eyes that it causes my eyelids to turn inside out, and that's what the red around my eyes is. So I have to do that just to keep my eyes from getting ulcers. Media industry sometimes portrays that you have to be a certain size or look a certain way or have flawless skin. And it came from the performing arts, especially dance, a place where I could really be myself and express who I am. And people didn't see my skin. Instead, they saw Bailey the dancer. A couple times a week, I actually teach dance. Lunge, lunge, then we're not doing the floor. We're coming to here, hand on heart, we're in plie. We contract on the word love and step back and let yourself kind of come up. So finish in B plus, and our hands up here.
I've known Bailey for a while now, and I met her through dance. I love taking class from her. You know, she is so inspirational. You come into class, and no matter what kind of day you're having, she automatically just brightens up the room.
Yeah! Okay, so to where will you go, child? I do have confidence in myself now. It came over the course of many years. It wasn't an overnight transition. Walk. Let's just make a little circle around ourselves and finish back to here. Back in 2014, I actually decided to compete in a beauty pageant. It's something I've always wanted to do. I always felt that I had no place in that world because I wasn't the typical beauty pageant. So I took on the challenge. I had no clue what to expect at nationals because that was only my second pageant ever. And I finished first runner-up. These ones are from my various experiences at the pageant. One of them is actually Miss Congeniality. I won that at my second nationals.
I didn't know how the pageant world would accept it, but I have raised her to be confident because I wanted her to know that she was special and unique. In the end, it turned out that she actually taught them what the true meaning of beauty really is. When I look back on the little girl that used to hide behind me everywhere we went, to see someone who wants to share her story with the world because she believes she can make an impact, how can you not be proud of that?
If a doctor would call me up right now and say, Bailey, great news, we finally have a cure for ichthyosis.
we want you like front of the line to take it. Would you want to? I honestly would say no. And that probably would surprise a lot of people. But my skin by no means defines who I am. It's helped make me who I am. It's shaped me. I feel I am a much more compassionate person because of it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Flake Files. My name is Jordan. My son and I both have a genetic skin condition called ichthyosis. That's Ichthyosis. So many people misspell it. And I also do cooking videos and grocery hauls and stuff like that. So if that sounds good to you, don't forget to subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, welcome back. And today I wanted to talk about something that I hesitate making a video about because I feel like it's going to make some people angry. But I also feel like it needs to be talked about. And that is comfort over appearance concerning ichthyosis. We have national conferences for ichthyosis every other year, and there's a lot of like breakout sessions where we talk about, you know, how to take care of your skin and, you know, new products you found that work for you, new techniques, bathing routines, stuff like that. And in a lot of the question and answer sessions, I hear people just get so upset about the fact that they can't get, you know, a majority of like the scaling in the scalp to go away, or, you know, they can't get all of like the skin exfoliated. And I understand that you know, that does help comfort. If I have a lot of buildup of skin, it's hard to move. But on the other hand, if I take it all off, if I scrub until it's gone, I will pay for that. It will hurt. My skin will be extremely sensitive. I'm more likely to get a cut. It just hurts. If it's on my feet, it hurts to walk. If it's on my knees, it hurts to bend my knees. And I also find that the skin is then drier, which then makes it more flaky. So, in my opinion, it's kind of counterproductive. Now, I do realize that I do not have lamellar or one of those other type, like EI, that builds up a lot. But I still think the same applies. If your kid is complaining and crying, just let it go for the day. Try again tomorrow. If you take off a little bit every day, it'll keep it at bay. Just make sure you are not doing it so that they look normal. Eventually, I feel like the kid is going to think that they're not good enough, or, you know, once they hit school age, puberty age, they're going to think that they're not attractive the way that they are. And I feel like you may not realize you're doing it, but that's kind of sending, you know, a negative message. It's the same as, like, you know, thinking that you have to wear makeup every day. You have to be done up every single day, or else nobody's going to think you're pretty. And I just don't think that's a good message to send. And I don't want to offend any parents, because I do see where you're coming from. I really do. I've had this for 29 years. I have a 9-month-old son with it as well. want to look different than everyone else. I don't. I mean, it makes me stand out for sure. People always recognize me. I could never get away with a crime. Somebody would recognize me. But I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want dry skin on my face. I don't want to be uncomfortable. So I do take some off, but I feel like you can go too far. And you can take off too much skin. If the skin is raw and inflamed, that means it's painful. And I do, like, Jackson gets a lot of scaling on his knees. Pretty much his knees. And then he'll get like a lot of like flaking, I guess, on his arms that I have to kind of exfoliate off. And I remember the first time that I realized somebody, you know, maybe thought negatively of Jackson. And he wasn't showing any, like, his arms or his legs or anything. It was just his face. And at the time, he had really, really, really bad cradle cap as well. And he was maybe like 2 or 3 months old, and we were in Walmart, and this, I don't know, teenage, early 20s-year-old boy walked past and looked at Jackson and then looked at me. And it was just the way that he looked. I could tell he was like, what is happening? But it was a little more negative than like a curiosity. But anyways, so I mean, I get it, and I get that you are expecting to have a kid with ichthyosis 90% of the time. That was a random percentage, but 90% of the time, the people that have a kid with ichthyosis have never heard of it. It just randomly happened. But just try your best to accept it and realize your kid is going to be fine. Yes, it's a visual difference, but they're fine. They really are. And, you know, I just remember comfort. Take off enough so that they're comfortable. Definitely be vigilant at keeping infection at bay. That if that's uncomfortable, that just is what it is, because that has to be done, because infections are no joke. But as far as appearance and what it looks like, just try your best to not become obsessed with it, and just kind of be more laid back about it. Don't obsess and nitpick over your kid. Don't pick at every little piece of skin in their hair when you're out. Don't obsess over it. Just treat them like any other kid. And when you're bathing them and exfoliating, just take it easy. That's all. But I think that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you want to see more videos or have any video suggestions, please let me know too. I know I do want to do a video on the top 5 things that we're tired of hearing. And I want to do one about handing over skincare to your child once they get old enough. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions, please let me know. I would love to do them. And please don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it if you want to. And I will see y'all next time.